The Zen master said, "The more we think, the less we live." In ancient Japan, there lived a renowned tea master in a small mountain temple. His fame came not just from his tea artistry, but something deeper. Tormented visitors would leave transformed, carrying an impossible-seeming peace. Merchants, samurai, and even traveling monks journeyed for days just to be in his presence, seeking relief for their restless minds. One day, a university professor arrived at the temple. Dark circles under his eyes betrayed sleepless nights, his mind never resting. Despite all his knowledge, or perhaps because of it, he lived in constant torment. Thoughts chased him day and night, endless analyses of every decision, worries multiplying like leaves in the wind. "Master," he said, his voice revealing soul-deep exhaustion, "I've spent 20 years studying tea ceremony. I've read every book, met every master. But the more I learn, the emptier I feel. My mind won't quiet even for a moment. I can't sleep, can't enjoy anything. Please, I need to find peace." The old master observed him with compassionate eyes. "Very well. Let's begin with a cup of tea." The professor, exhausted by his own mind, sat as the master began preparing tea with slow, precise movements. The master's silence was unsettling. The professor, uncomfortable with the quiet, began compulsively talking about tea history in China, ideal water temperatures, leaf varieties, and their origins. As if silence were a threat needing to be filled with words. The master remained silent, continuing his tea preparation. His movements resembled an ancient dance, each gesture precise and purposeful. When finished, he took a cup and began pouring. The tea filled the cup, then overflowed, spilling onto the table and the professor's lap. The professor jumped up startled. "Master! The cup is overflowing. Can't you see it can't hold more?" he said in a nervous voice. The master stopped pouring and calmly said, "You are like this cup, so full of thoughts, theories, and worries that nothing else can enter. How can I show you the path to peace when your mind has no space to receive it?" For the first time in years, the professor fell into true silence. Not forced silence, but silence born of deep understanding. All his ideas, theories, and incessant thoughts seemed to freeze. He bowed deeply. "I understand. Please teach me to empty my cup." In the following months, the professor learned true tea art. At first, his mind still raced like a turbulent river. He wanted to analyze every movement, understand every detail. But the master always guided him back to the present moment, the sound of boiling water, the aroma of tea leaves, steam rising from the cup. Gradually, thoughts began quieting. The professor discovered moments of peace unknown since childhood. He realized his endless knowledge-seeking had been an escape from the present moment's simplicity. A year later, when departure came, the professor was transformed. His eyes had regained their spark. His face radiated once impossible serenity. The master served him one final cup. "See how tea simply is?" said the master. "It doesn't think, doesn't worry, just exists in fullness. This is true wisdom." The professor smiled, finally understanding the peace he'd sought in books had always been there, in simply being present, living each moment wholly. He'd learned not just tea art, but the art of living with a peaceful mind. If we look deeply, this story touches something many experience daily. Like the professor, how many of us find ourselves caught in endless thought storms, infinite analyses, constant worries, a mind that simply won't rest? It's ironic how we seek so much knowledge, information, answers. Yet sometimes, the more we know, the more confused we become. Our minds become that overflowing cup, no space for the peace we crave. Ever noticed how hard it is to sleep with a racing mind? How challenging to enjoy simple moments when countless thoughts compete for attention? You're not alone. This mental restlessness is one of our era's greatest afflictions. But this story's wisdom shows something precious. The peace we seek isn't in accumulating more knowledge, analyses, or answers. Sometimes it's precisely in emptying, in silence, in the present moment's simplicity. This channel grows not just through stories and reflections, but through your actions. When you subscribe, when you hit like, you help this message reach more people who may truly need it. Be the difference now. Click subscribe, leave a like, and check the pinned comment for more free resources that can transform your daily life. Right now, you can download a free mini ebook on how to bring ancient practices of silence and clarity into your everyday routine. Perfect for anyone seeking a grounded, timeless kind of wisdom. As the professor discovered, our thoughts can be prison or liberation. The difference lies in how we relate to them. We needn't fight thoughts or forcibly silence them. Instead, we can learn to observe them, like the master watching tea being poured, with presence and acceptance. Each of us has our own tea ceremony, that simple activity bringing us back to now. It might be conscious breathing, silent walking, sunset watching, or mindfully drinking tea. True transformation begins when we stop trying to fill our minds with more and start making space for silence, peace, and presence. As the Master taught, sometimes we need to empty our cup so new things can enter. I invite you to pause now, breathe deeply, feel this moment. Allow yourself to experience even briefly the silence between thoughts. This is where we find the peace we seek. Until next time, remember, the peace you seek is already within, waiting for a moment of silence to reveal itself.